Today, we're diving into one of the most incredibly direct spiritual texts you'll ever come across, the Ashtavakra Geeta. At its heart, it's a conversation between a wise sage and a king, but it's really a profound song of freedom that gets right to the core of who we are. All right, let's jump right in. So check this out. This is literally how the whole thing kicks off. A king, his name is Janaka, asks the sage Ashtavakra this one question. No messing around, just boom. How do I get knowledge? How do I get free? This sets the stage for, well, one of the most radical explorations of freedom in human history. Okay, so what is this text exactly? Well, the Ashtavakra Geeta is a classical text from India, written in Sanskrit. And the word Geeta, you've probably heard it before, it just means song. And trust me, this one is a truly beautiful but also totally uncompromising song about our true nature. And right away, we hit a pretty big mystery. Nobody really knows how old this text is. I mean, look at this timeline. Scholars basically say it could have been written anytime between 600 BCE and 1400 CE. That's a 2,000-year window. It's just wild. We know for a fact that King Janaka was a real person, a ruler, around the 8th century BCE. But the text itself, who wrote it and when, yeah, that's completely up in the air. Before we dive any deeper, there's one word you absolutely have to know. It's samsara. You can think of it as, well, the physical world, the whole cycle of life, existence, all the stuff around us. But, and this is the really crucial part, the Gita sees it as a kind of illusion, a trick almost, that keeps us feeling tangled up and keeps us suffering. So what's the trap exactly? Is the world itself the problem? According to the Gita, nope. Our bondage, the reason we feel stuck, isn't actually caused by the world. It's caused by a fundamental mistake we all make about who we think we are. That's the real source of our suffering. And this really breaks it down. On one side, you've got the identity we all just kind of assume is us, right? I'm my body, I'm my mind, I'm the one doing things, feeling happy, feeling sad. But the Gita just says, nope, that's not you. On the other side is what it calls our true self, this formless, totally unattached awareness that just watches. It just witnesses everything, and it is always, always free. And here it is, stated as plainly as possible. Our whole problem, the only reason we feel stuck, is because we look at that free, silent witness, and we think it's something else. We think it's separate from us. It's like we're so busy identifying with one character in the movie, we forget we're actually the screen the entire movie is playing on. And this is the big reveal. This is the simple, mind-blowing truth that answers the king's question from the very beginning. See, the answer isn't to try and fix that mistaken identity. It's to realize it was never you in the first place. So what are you then? The text says your true nature is just pure consciousness. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't change. Think of it like this silent, still background awareness that's just watching everything happen. Every single thought, every emotion, everything you see, but it's never, ever affected by any of it. Just let that sink in for a second. It's not saying you can become free one day if you work hard enough. It's saying you are free, right now. You are that witness. That's what you are, fundamentally. It can't be changed. So you might be wondering, how do we get so mixed up then? Well, the Gita has this perfect metaphor for it. Imagine you're in a dark room, and you see what looks like a snake on the floor. You freak out, right? But then someone flips on the light, and it was just a rope the whole time. The world, samsara, is just like that rope. It's actually neutral, but because we're not seeing it clearly, we project all our fears and desires onto it, making it seem like a scary snake. Okay, so how do we turn on the light? How do we stop seeing the snake and just see the rope? Well, here's the cool part. The path isn't about doing a bunch of complicated rituals or meditating for 30 years. It's about using one specific tool. They call it the knife of knowledge. And what does that look like, practically speaking? Well, the steps are surprisingly simple, and it's all about a shift in perspective. First, you just have to really get it. You're not your body. You're not your thoughts. Second, you just rest. Rest in what you really are, that pure consciousness. That very understanding is what cuts the cord, which severs that old identification. And finally, you drop the whole idea that there's anything you have to do to get free in the first place. I mean, how much clearer can it get? The knife isn't some mystical object. It's just the plain, simple knowledge. I am awareness. And notice, it's not a belief you're supposed to adopt. It's a fact you just have to recognize. And the text says that once that cut is made, you're happy. Just like that. And this is such a critical point. Liberation isn't something you gain, like a trophy. It's something you realize. You don't get freedom. Freedom is what's left over when you start getting rid of all the stuff that's covering it up. All your wanting this, hating that, and all the wrong ideas you have about who you are. So, what does this look like in real life? I mean, what does a person who's actually realized this look and act like? The Gita actually paints a really clear picture of this wise, liberated person. Well, for starters, they're totally free from wanting things and pushing things away. People can praise them or blame them, it just doesn't stick. They could be in a palace or a forest, it makes no difference to their inner peace. They see the whole world as a kind of play, so what's there to be afraid of? My favorite line, though, is this one. They function like a dead leaf blown about by the wind of causality. Just imagine that, moving through life with absolutely no resistance, no personal agenda, just going with the flow. This quote really gets at the deep inner stillness of it all. Now, this doesn't mean they become like a rock, unable to function. It just means they've gone beyond that constant mental noise, that endless chatter that's always running in our heads. They're not effortfully trying to figure everything out anymore. They just are. Okay, if there is one single thing to take away from all of this, this is it. The most crucial point of the entire Gita is that this freedom we're talking about, it's not some goal off in the distance. It's not something you get in the future. It is what you are right now. You aren't on a journey to freedom. You are freedom itself, just pretending that you're not. And that's where the Gita leaves us. It ends by basically turning the whole thing back on you, on me, on all of us, with this really provocative question. If what this ancient song says is true, if you really are already perfect, already whole, already completely free, then what are you waiting for? What idea, what story are you still telling yourself that's keeping you from seeing it?